There once lived a young man who lived in a village on the edge of a lake. The lake was surrounded by tall palm trees and was famous throughout the land for being unnaturally still and eerily silent, almost as if it had no life at all. The villagers loved to fish there, and most of the time the lake was generous with its bounty. But the villagers had one rule. After midnight, nobody fished in the lake. They warned their children about it, but they never explained why. One day, though, a young man named Elias heard the townspeople talking about the lake, and he couldn't help but wonder why they made such a big deal about fishing after midnight. Was it some kind of rare experience? He wanted to try it. As the sun began to set that night, Elias put on his warmest coat and grabbed his fishing rod. He packed a small lantern just in case and headed out to the lake. As he walked, he could feel the temperature dropping and the wind whipping across the water, making waves that disturbed the stillness of the lake. When he arrived, he could see that the surface of the lake was perfectly still. He walked to the edge and baited his hook. He wasn't sure if he would catch anything, but he didn't care. He just wanted to see what would happen. He sat down on the bank and cast his line into the water. For a while, nothing happened. The only sound was the lapping of the water against the shore. Elias began to think that maybe the townspeople were right and that there was nothing to see here. Just as he was about to give up, he felt a tug on his line. He pulled it in, and to his surprise, he actually caught something. But what he saw was not a fish. In the lantern light, he could make out the shape of a woman. She was pale and gaunt, with long flowing hair and a strange tail that glistened like silver in the moonlight. She looked at him with hollow eyes and opened her mouth to speak, but no words came out. She struggled to free herself from the hook, but he held on tight. She suddenly began to thrash about, creating ripples that spread across the surface of the water. Before Elias could react, she broke free and dove into the water with a splash. He watched as she swam toward the nearest palm tree and began to climb. Her tail slipped and slid down the trunk, leaving deep gouges in the bark. Soon she was out of sight and out of mind. Elias waited a few minutes before climbing down from the tree. He couldn't believe what he had just seen. Was it real or was he dreaming? As he turned to go home, he noticed something strange. The lake was no longer calm and serene. The water was churning and boiling, and the wind was howling. The sky was filled with dark clouds, and the palm trees were swaying wildly. Elias ran as fast as he could away from the lake, his heart pounding in his chest. He didn't look back, but he could feel the presence of the woman fish following him, her eyes burning into his back. When he finally reached his house, he slammed the door shut and locked it. He never went back to the lake again. In the morning, the villagers came out to find Elias's lantern and fishing rod by the lakeside. They searched for him all day, but never found his body. Some say the woman fish dragged him into the lake and ate him. Others say he's trapped in the tree, forever frozen in time. All that remains of Elias is his fishing rod, which is kept in the village as a warning to those who would fish in the forbidden waters. If you listen very carefully on a cold winter night, you can hear the sound of dripping water under the palm tree. And if you're very lucky, you might see the pale hand of the woman fish reaching down from the branches, offering you the wooden doll. If you take it, you'll never be seen again.